Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 4-valve swap yet again. We have the motor out of the car and I'm going to be pretty much just running over exactly what we're going to be doing, and also some things we need to get done on that body before putting this motor back in. So let's get into today's video. Alright, so because we've already talked about that motor like 20,000 times, we're going to talk about some stuff that needs to be done to the body. Right here is one of the biggest issues, and that's it right there. We have a hole right here. I need to clean this up, put a little plate there, weld it on and paint it up. It's not really a hard fix, it's just something that needs to be done. Other than that, I need to change those O2 sensors because those are a pain in the ass to get to once it's in the car. Oh, I just noticed that I need the plate over here as well. Look like they're rusting the same places on both sides. Also, I need to get some body work done. I have some really messed up fenders on both sides, I think, where people have mashed it and probably painted it badly. So the body doesn't need too much work, just need to get those welded up and painted, those spots by the firewall. It doesn't make sense investing into the car and the thing is rusting to hell, and I won't be able to do it when I put the motor back in, so I have to plate those before I do it. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the body. Alright, so back to the motor. Like you guys know, we are going to be taking these heads off. We're going to be checking all the valves, making sure they're not leaking. That's both heads, so we got 32 valves to check. Also, I need to take the crank out, pistons and rods out. We're going to be changing main bearings, connecting rod bearings, piston rings. What else? We got a good amount of stuff to replace. I'm also going to be replacing that rear main seal before we put the motor back in, just as added security. You don't want to pop this thing back in and then that rear main seal goes. So also, I'm going to be deleting this coolant crossover, and I'm going to be buying a kit from Modular, I think it's Modular Motor Racing or something like that, MMR, that's going to delete this and bring it over into I think a hose barb, and then that should be it. Also, we are going to be getting the cooling head mod where you pop out the freeze plugs right there, these freeze plugs, and you connect the two heads in the back, because number 7 and number 8 is always prone for hot spots, because there's no way for the coolant to cross over to the next head to like do a complete loop. It's kind of like running through one head going through the next, and that causes a lot of heating issues. So we got our work cut out for us, but just waiting on those parts to come in. Hopefully in the next week or two we can start putting it back together, but in the meantime we're going to be taking this thing down and taking it down to a bare block, taking all the valves out the heads, because we have to change out the head seals, the valve stem seals, and then we should be good to go. Alright guys, well, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. I literally just pulled the motor out, put it on the stand. Definitely, I think those parts are gonna take a while to get here, just because, you know, I live in the Bahamas. They have to get delivered to a shipping company in the States, and then they have to be delivered from the States to the Bahamas. Then I'll get them. So hopefully in the next week or two we can be putting this thing back together, but until then we have some very good footage, very good videos about these B heads that I'm going to be changing the valve seals in and doing leak down tests on. So we have that to look forward to. We also have the removing of the block, honing out those cylinder walls and checking the bore. Yeah, so pretty much that's the game plan. We're going to be checking all the specs on this motor, tearing it down, make sure all the clearances are right before we putting it back in. I'm going to be setting those ring gaps to, I think the top ring is going to go 18, bottom ring is going to go 22 or 20, I'm not sure yet, depends on how tight I really want them. I'm not going to be putting boost on this motor anymore like I said I was. What I'm going to do is try to get it all motor and to run as good as possible and keep it in that car for the next 2 to 3 years. That's why I'm taking my time out and putting it back together so we can run this thing for a very long time before we ever have to see this motor back on the stand again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Always remember, don't drift without your dreams. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.